Hello, natural bodybuilding community. My name is Brandon Wadas, and for those of you who do not know me, I'm a professional natural bodybuilder. Now, this page asked me to talk a little bit about my natural bodybuilding career, kind of where I've been and what I plan to do. So as I said, I am a professional, but I've been competing since 2011. I started pretty early, started when I was 19 years old. I dieted for 3 weeks for my first contest, and kind of the rest is history. But going back to kind of my career, like I said, I started to compete when I was about 19 years old. I competed when I was 19 and 20. Kind of regret coming back-to-back seasons. I took a few years off and I turned professional at the age of 23. In that same year, I also won my very first pro show. Took a little bit of time off to get bigger and better. Came back in 2018 and competed in a few of the bigger natural shows. Placed third at the IPE Kansas City Classic. I placed fourth at the Yorton in the tall class. And then I also got fifth overall at IPE Worlds. So I'm in the middle of another long extended off season. Just once again getting larger. Right now I'm 28 years old, so I'm still relatively young when it comes to the sport of natural bodybuilding. Because as many of you know that have been following along with natural bodybuilding, typically, you don't get extremely good until you're in your mid to late 30s, honestly, just because we know as natural athletes it takes an incredibly long amount of time in order to build the muscle mass, especially for a bodybuilder, in order to really contend with the best of the best. So throughout my career, I've been competing against guys significantly older than me, and I've always been thinking in the back of my head, well, my time will eventually come, my time will come, I just have to keep putting in the hours and hours and hours of work in order to get there. So kind of going back to why I really like natural bodybuilding, I started when I was very young. I had played baseball from when I was 4 until I was 18, and I really needed something to kind of fill that void, if you will, from organized sports. So I came to natural bodybuilding through YouTube, through stuff like this. Instagram wasn't necessarily around kind of at the time, 2011, might have just been coming out. So I came across natural bodybuilding via YouTube. I found a local show, and my dad actually told me, hey, you should go and check it out. And I told him, my response was kind of in infamy, if I'm going to go to compete. So I crash dieted for 3 weeks, and I've been hooked ever since. But I've seen, really, really steady progress over time. And what's important for me, especially as a natural athlete, is, all the hard work that you physically put in is the output. Your body is the output of all of that. So it's not from any extracurricular substances, that I'm putting in myself. It's just, the food and the hard work that I put in every single day. And, with me being about 8.5 years into my career, I would say that although I've been pretty successful, the work never does stop. Because I'm not the greatest natural bodybuilder on the planet, even though I want to be someday. There's just a lot of work that goes into it. And I think it's really rewarding for me, especially to see, especially from coming from a background of team sports where everybody contributes. And while that's great, there's no one else contributing to the work that I put into the gym, or that I put into the kitchen, or I put into my posing. So I find this very rewarding because it is such an individualistic sport, where all your individual effort really goes to show your work on stage. And I've always been a big proponent of natural bodybuilding, and I know that some people may choose to take the other route, but I'm just living proof that if you really do apply yourself, and I mean really apply yourself, and you have to do it for years and years and years on end, and I'm such a big advocate of that, because especially with now, with social media, as great as it is, it does have the detriments of people thinking that they're going to see really, really fast progress in a short amount of time. And as many of us know as natural athletes, it just takes a longer amount of time than a year or two to really develop the physique that you want. Like I said, I'm 8.5 years deep into my personal bodybuilding career, and I'm still nowhere near where I personally want to be. I know I have lots of room to make up. And what I really most enjoy about bodybuilding, especially about natural bodybuilding, is the pursuit, and it's almost like you enjoy the hunt more than you enjoy the kill. You know, I'm enjoying this whole journey more than any accolade I will ever win, because it's always something that you're chasing. And for me at least, you know, with natural bodybuilding, there is no ceiling. There is no upper limit that you could say, okay, I am the best, because there's always going to be somebody bigger and badder out there than you. So with that being said, you know, that's why I really like natural bodybuilding. And, you know, granted, I've made a career out of this. I'm a coach for Team Iron Management, so I've been coaching since 2014 as well, going full-time just over a year now. So it's been really rewarding for me to put all my energy towards natural bodybuilding. And, you know, it's done really well for me. I've really enjoyed it along the way, and I've helped a lot of people, you know, come into natural bodybuilding as well, gain their pro status, and go on to have successful careers. So for me, my life literally revolves around natural bodybuilding. I live and breathe it every day, and I can't be more thankful to be able to do so. So all those many years ago, you know, I was 19 years old, and my dad saw the article in the paper that said, you know, this local bodybuilding show was going to be at a high school, and I, you know, went to compete. You never know what one instance like that is going to, how it's going to change the rest of your life. You know, it's propelled me into my career that I'm going to be doing, you know, for many, many years to come. You know, it's paying my family's bills, and it's something that I truly enjoy and that I absolutely love. So if you're out there and you're wondering about natural bodybuilding, you know, if you're a natural athlete, you know, go to a show, check it out. If you're like me, go to compete and see if you like it. Because at the end of the day, you do have to really enjoy every aspect of this sport, not just the competing part. You have to embrace the off season like I currently am. You know, you have to be able to embrace the suck when it comes to dieting for the shows. You have to be able to embrace physically getting smaller, you know, when we're dieting for these shows. And I think that's what a lot of people do struggle with as well, is the fact that, you know, we do shrink. You know, currently, I'll just give myself an example. You know, I'm 211 pounds I weighed the other day. I compete roughly at about 170. That's where I was at in 2018. Next time around, I'll probably be obviously a little bit heavier. But you get physically smaller, but you look way bigger, you know, on stage, of course, with the tan and the posing and the pumping up and everything. So that's just another obstacle to overcome. So with natural bodybuilding, you know, it is an uphill battle, if you will. But I find it extremely rewarding and satisfying to say that all the work that I've put in, that you guys put in, is what it is. You know, there's no extracurricular substances that can take away the credit for your hard work. So hopefully you guys are as passionate about natural bodybuilding as I am. It was a pleasure to be on this page. Thank you for having me, guys. Stay natty.